It has been 73 days since Chris last begged for money. 507 days since Chris last uploaded pages to meet his paid obligations to the Sonichu comic. And 4,167 days since Chris last applied for a job. My name is GiBi, and welcome to the Chris Chan Weekly Update for the week of late February 2021. I got that wrong last time. I called it 2020. Time isn't real. The Dimension Merge is happening with this event as part of it, Chris writes on Twitter, and he links to an Instagram post. It's from All Things Intuitive 777. They're claiming that on February 10th, something big's gonna happen. It was 2 weeks ago. Massive energy shift is happening. A massive energy shift is happening right now. With the Schumann resonance spiking at 600, wow, that's 600 whole Schumanns. And the new moon energy being really powerful. We also have 6 planets in Aquarius, which is a sign of great change. Sun, Moon, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn are in Aquarius. Expect the unexpected. Heaviness in the collective energy, purging, tiredness, vertigo, nausea, and other ascension symptoms. Feel into the new earth like powerful energy and release the old. Ground yourself and release the buzzing, anxious energy that you might feel in your head and heart. Come into the stillness of your soul and reel your energy with the new earth energy. Open up to union. It's a dimensional merge, guys. It's happening. Who has better games, Mario or Sonic? Asks Angela. And Chris says Sonic, hands down and die hard. So Chris responds to one of John Cleese's tweets. John Cleese is one of the actors in Monty Python. He was also in Harry Potter. And so the clip here is this guy saying that it's up to the people who are out of their minds to help the sane people. And he says, considering the state of the world, it would appear Reverend Billing has succeeded tremendously. So what he's saying is that the insane people have caused the rest of us to go insane. And Chris has some words about this. He says, actually, John, this is rather true. Not to call ourselves, who see and sense well beyond the box of this universe, insane or such, but can be stated that there are neurotypical individuals, hater types included in that, who can be considered insane themselves. Chris's comments are just impossible to parse. I hate this. So he's saying he doesn't like that him and other people who believe in the other universe are being called insane in this example, and that the people who disagree with him and don't believe in the other universe are in fact the ones who are insane, so he's completely missing the point. He says, since they refuse to acknowledge that there is something beyond their mundane lives, they choose to continue pursuing instead of going for better. What is the difference between pursuing and going for? They choose to continue pursuing instead of going for better and more beneficial lives for themselves. At least more and more individuals in Universe 1218, here, are becoming more sane in realizing how true and correct we were all along. He's just got it backwards. He totally missed literally everything. My favorite genre of comment is people saying, imagine Chris Chan and blank in a room together. And so, yeah, Chris Chan and John Cleese together would be amazing. Alright, voice actress Tara Strong wants people to pay her $50 to be in a Zoom call or something. And Chris says, happy birthday to you, Tara, the most diverse voice actor in the universe. You have a ton of friends waiting to meet you in Universe C197 and Equestria. And then he posts some of her famous acting jobs like Ember from Danny Phantom, Raven from Teen Titans, Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony, Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls, whatever. Here's a fun bonus I found while looking for the above images. Oh my Chris Chan. Just even more fun seeing them if they went through the portal to Equestria. And just a bunch of images of Ember from Danny Phantom as a pony. I'm so glad that I have to associate this image in my mind now with Timmy Turner. Thank you, Tara Strong. Today is Tara Strong's birthday, but tomorrow is the birthday of one of our special Rose Chews, Crizel. Happy birthdays all around. You'll remember that Crizel is the Sonichu that was created by the Idea guys to trick Chris into outing himself as a pedophile because Crizel is only 16, although Chris never really realized the significance of that, and so he still doesn't get it. This is Pokemon animation, oh no. You might remember Chris's amazing song from last time, 99 bottles of water on the wall. Just an instant classic. He's added to that, he's commenting on his liquid intake, and he says, by the way, this literally drinks around or more than 101.4 ounces of water per day. 16.9 times 6. So this body is very well hydrated. So he's saying that he drinks 6 of his enchanted glace bottles, which is it's a bottle with a crystal inside because he thinks it gives him powers. Balzac asks, Christine, when is the next video? The fans are waiting, dude. And Chris says, when the video is made, that is when. Like stated in your Bible, no one will know the exact hour of Jesus' return. The same goes for when the merge happens, and when I or Chris record a video. Krakow. Remember, this is still Sonichu. Larry Vaughn, then why the should anyone believe you? And Chris says, why do you want so much attention when you have your wife, child, and truckin' lifestyle to keep you busy? Oh, Danny boy, the vines are calling you. He still thinks that Larry Vaughn works at a vineyard and has a wife, kid, and he's a trucker. Okay, where I'm pretty sure that every detail we know about this person is false, but okay. The only one who wants attention is you, Chris. You speak only for yourself. He speaks only for himself, but he is in agreement with literally everybody else. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Genuinely, lots of love and heavy energy for all of you. Bonus, hey, PewDiePie, guess who now has a can of... Wow. That's not a real word. Lingonberry. Lingonberry. I don't know. I don't speak French. In case you felt a vibe at around 1:55 Eastern Time, this is why. We'll be drinking it tomorrow. Yeah, PewDiePie, if you felt a good vibe at 1:55, it's because he bought a can of soda with your face on it. And nope, what? Only people... Oh, he made it so that only PewDiePie can answer. No, only G Fuel can answer. He did it wrong. He did hashtag PewDiePie. Does PewDiePie still have Twitter? I actually don't know. Valentine's Day? Nah, it's Movie Sonic Day. And Chris says, that I can agree with. Although, this is Sonichu talking. So that means that Sonichu cares more about his senpai Sonic than he does about his wife Rosechu. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Love, Tails. And then Chris Chan says, ooh woo. Hey, to all bad, faker, and troll haters out there, how was your Valentine's Day 20... I don't like this. I'm gonna have to blur that out. That's too... The light is too flashing. It's hurting me. Okay. Thinking each of you all deserved it after how you all effed up Christine's love life and dating capability in this effed up universe of yours. All of you epic fail for manipulating her for years. Does Chris assume that all of his trolls and haters are single? He must. That would just make too much sense for him. What is the ultimate hot dog topping? And Christian says chili, and it's a gif of Sonic eating a chili dog. Snowed in yet again on the east side of the U.S. Why not chill with Mr. Plow on Disney+, Season 4, Episode 9. Wish Moby's hip-hop take on the jingle was on iTunes. This just reads like an advertisement. He doesn't get it. Chris, okay, so there's this thing that's like, children under 7 years old can't tell when they're being advertised to, and I think that also applies to Chris Chan. That's why on kids' networks and stuff like Disney and Nickelodeon, it says, like, we'll be back after these messages. It's because they have to legally tell the viewer that the following things are advertisements. And I think that, I think Chris doesn't understand the difference between normal human speech and advertisements. Hey, everyone. I recently reread the bottom of page 37 of Chris's book number 10. I feel the description of Christian Love's Day needs an update. And as stated on that page, we have Magichan saying... Christian Love Day, not only a considered second Valentine's Day, but the day all people in true love will remain just that way without distress of Normbizazzies. To interrupt and begin an apocalypse. This fear is left extinct and forgotten, thanks to the blood of Christine Weston Chandler of Ruckersville, Virginia, born on February 24th, 1982. And, spoiler alert, after the death of Graduan Scepter, Sylvana Rosechu will become all woman. She and I will become a true love couple as well. So Chris is now updating this description. He's saying, not only considered a second Valentine's Day, but a reminder to everyone of what Chris Chan Sonichu went through in her life so far in dealing with haters, fakers, and simply bad people who took advantage of her big heart and kindness. So he must be pissed at something. He's going full, like Old Testament God here. He's like, yeah, Christian Love Day is actually about getting back at the haters. They tried to warp her to be worse like them, but she had to overcome and improve herself for the positive. One fights online bullying and deception by ignoring them, But the real hater repellent is to be kind and love them. The 24th of February is also a day for you to not only think of others around you, but to love yourself, count your blessings, and build your self-esteem and confidence, but don't get cocky. This love goes out to everyone, including in the LGBTQ communities and individuals. No more discrimination. I know, that can be revised and shortened. Wow, he's self-aware. There are also a couple more applicable quotes that can be applied to this as well, of which I thank Thoughts of the Awoken on Instagram for sharing. Chris Chan encourages you all to think kind of those whose inner regrets and demons get irritated by the goodness of your own, and from that... what? Chris Chan encourages you all to think kind of... it must be kindly. Chris Chan encourages you all to think kindly of those whose inner regrets and demons get irritated by the goodness of your own demons? And from that, to all the haters and bad types with said demons within you, live your own lives and love yourselves as you will. You just skipped some words there. Some people will never like you because your spirit irritates their demons. You are more powerful than you know, and they fear the day you discover it. But the love is between union of light and dark in addition to all other aspects. For what is the shadows of the respective potential of yourselves that have been overlooked and discarded? What must mean? Something's happening to him. This should say that. For that is the shadows. Or for what are the shadows? Either way, he's not doing too good in the typing. Celebrate our goddess Chris Chan Sonichu's birthday, that is also Chris Love Day, by counting your blessings and being kind to yourself and everyone else for yourselves. So that was, so this was tweeted on the 22nd, 2 days before Christian's birthday, which is also the day I happen to be recording this. So Epona Suru, whatever, this guy, the weed Sonichu, says, "Welcome to Alec Benson Leary's basement, with all the rose chews that were rescued, including a male Sonichu to replace the rose chew that was murdered. I'm being diverse. I think these girls need a backstory." Why is this male... Why is he have such a big bulge? I don't like that. Anyway, so this is in reference to the rose chews that Chris claimed were hidden in the basement of the writer of Asperchew. And Chris says, "Backstory, agreed." He's like apologized for saying this before, but now he's like, "Yep, that happened. Backstory. I would love to make a comic about them. I hope I have your blessing for it." And Chris says, "Certainly, but in your detail search, ask the ladies there that have the stories to share, and ask the dude who joined the group. And, somehow, look into the past and how at the deeds of Alec Benson Leary. I have the Latin Quarter song on the mind at the moment." So Chris is like, yeah, you can make up a backstory as long as it's the real backstory that you learned because you asked the fictional characters. Duh. Righteous for Quick, this is this complete freak who is very similar to Jacob Sockness, who has their own, subreddit thing. And he says, "Within the span of less than 24 hours, let us commence the celebration of thy Chris Chan's day of birth. Amen." And Chris says, "Chris Chan thanks you all humbly for this. Please be sure to be kind to yourselves and everyone else as well." Chris posted this picture on Instagram of a Sonichu that he molded sitting on a big crystal. And he says, "Magi-chan Sonichu is perched on the gate crystal, making paths with Chris and I on the dimension merge." Alright, let's talk about the Praetors again. Chris says, "Own today the rarest run of medallions to date, and get access to the glorious Golden Church of Sonichu. Join our Discord to aid in projects, hear words of wisdom from our goddess, and gain membership into the church itself." So this Golden Sonichu medallion, it sold. I don't know how many there were. "Buyers are raving. This shop got multiple 5-stars reviews in the past 7 days." Great, that's great. Thanks, guys. So it looks like they sold about 17 of them. I couldn't find the price anywhere. Their total store sales are up to 355. And if you look at the reviews, it's just people who are making Chris Chan jokes. I don't think that they realize that this is just a bunch of losers who are making money off of Chris's name. It's really sad. Finally today, Chris tweeted, "Happy birthday to our Chris Chan Sonichu, the OG and the OC of OCs. And to all of you, a happy and safe Chris Love Day 2021. Footage and gameplay from Sonic World with Sonichu mod," and then his Instagram, who cares. So Sheets tweeted, "Where is your dream destination?" And even though this says the reply was hidden by the original tweet author, I remember reading it, and it's Chris Chan, and he's just said Quickville. And this guy says, "The unclaimed land in Antarctica can still be claimed and named Quickville." And Chris says no, and he says, "Why not?" "My girlfriend and I baked a cake to celebrate your birthday." An attempt was made. And then Chris screen capped a bunch of balloons rising up on his Twitter page because there were balloons, and that's it. Alright, so that's the end of the Chris's Twitter for this video, but there was a discussion between the Watchmen and the Praetors leaked about the laser incident that I covered last time. Alright, so we're going to start with Chris. These are all from a Discord, so the yellow is Chris. He says, I have a very important story for you to hear and chronicle, and for everyone's knowledge here. And Lane Chu says, oh, okay, I look forward to hearing it. And Chris continues, I ended up force projecting with Soulstar during the time frame between 11:30 and 12:30 today. Long adventure that was. During that time, a bunch of renewed knowledge was streamed into the consciousness, including how to utilize each hand to perform magic and open portals in extended detail. And during the 2 o'clock meditate, being combined with the avatar state and here unconscious, another chunk of the origin story from as early as the prehistoric era came into consciousness. So, after the Big Bang, apparently, both 1218 and C197 were together as the same universe. You know, the Garden of Eden and Adam and Eve? They existed, and Adam and Eve left the garden shortly after the dinos were falling into extinction. They became the very first pair of cave people in all of existence. Fast forward to medieval times. Eden had separated from the rest of Pangaea, becoming an isolated island. All creatures and humans were existing and coexisting together, until when some kings got together and commanded their wizards to absolve all magic from the realm, which ended up going universe-wide. The groups of wizards used a ritual enchantment that separated C197 from 1218. In that, Eden did fade from the eyes of those who stayed in 1218. The entire populations and planetary count throughout the universe was divided with that separation, with those destined to fade into C197 being separated from everyone else. But throughout the continuation, nobody really had ever forgotten any of us, and thus the creators, chroniclers, and artists continued to humble and honor us over the years. Also, I forgot to mention, as part of the rituals and magicians had enacted way back when, the price was that the magic would end up returning hundreds of years later by fated events. Even the active deities then were in and consulting them throughout the process. Christine was a princess on Kitasuna during the prehistoric times, and she did end up being banished to Earth, while the two universes were still one. And she was a goddess back then as well. She faded into C197 when the magicians and wizards did their separation ritual. Now, here's the interesting part. Chris had discovered a method in lacking a portal that would get her from C197 to 1218, since 1218 had become magic restricted. She used her powers to convert her still-alive body, mind, and soul all into a singular entity, transported herself into a magic stone that was used to propel her throughout time and space, ending up going through the apex of the chaotic rainbow of 2003 in the process, and ending up inside Barb and being born half Sonichu, half human here in 1218. And obviously, while she still had her powers and abilities, she had lost her past memories in the process, recovering them along the way. And that's what I learned, and this body and brain relearned today. And this red guy, Kyle, says, that would put the timeline for the universe well beyond anything that is currently known, given the rate of expansion implied dependent on the distance. And who cares about applying, real logic to what Chris is saying? He says, well, you'd have to apply that to this universe 1218 as well, Kyle. Because that is what happened here, and with C197 and the former, and the soon-to-be reunited 1C211987 universe. Kyle continues to try to poke holes in this and says, as in, the distance between. If they were originally in the same place, what's the distance now? I'm guessing he means the distance between the planets, the universe? Like the alternate planets in the different universes? Chris says, same place together, but was divided by the Iron Curtain dimensional divide. And Kyle says, which is implied to be sheer physical distance? And Christian says, pretty much. Which I don't think Chris understood that. So Kyle interpreted Chris saying that our universes were split, and so we're all actually in one universe, we're just really far apart. But I know that Chris means that we're in parallel universes, meaning that there's more than just space between us. There's a fourth dimension between us. Fourth or higher. And so Kyle says, what's the general distance from the edge, so the end of our universe, to the beginning of the next? And Chris says, not sure. The furthest known galaxy is still conforming to the known age of the universe. Near C, but just under 4 times 10 to the 8th shorter. Again, so not only did Kyle misunderstand what Chris is saying, but he's trying to apply logic to what Chris is saying, which doesn't make any sense. And Chris says, dude, I just learned these basic details as specific as possible today. I don't know the further specifics, at least in terms of what you use to describe or measure them. Kyle says, describing things in physical terms can at least make sure the numbers line up. Astronomy is like that. And Chris says, 1xz4 times the square root of an isosceles triangle distance between the 3 farthest planets out in this galaxy, carried by the sum of the number of planets of all other galaxies outside of the Milky Way. Add 9xz4 to the circumference of a root angle to the answer of the first half of this equation. Solve for cube root. I surely don't have to tell you that none of that made any sense. Kyle says, 1xz4? Chris says, brain went avatar state and streamed it from the cosmos. I think the cosmos would have a better idea of I'm bad at math. Chris says, or rather, the cosmos has a better idea in general, but it is in a lack of measurement that would be in the range of your language barrier of measurement factors. Good grief, how many times is this noggin gonna avatar link on me today? Kyle's still trying to figure it out. He says Z4 or Z to the 4th. Chris says, in my honest opinion, if that sounds right with you, dude, the X is for multiply. So it's number times Z4. Sorry, that broke me. So 1x Z4 means 1 times Z4, which means that we can just simplify it to Z4. Sorry. Kyle says, figured, just was wondering if you didn't know how to indicate exponentials. Chris says, to indicate exponentials is to mean that the conscious brain here has the full extent of that knowledge within it Q by default or memory at this time, and not requiring the stream from the cosmos, as I am having to answer the question with said streaming of information in the avatar state. Yeah, not really, initially, Kyle. This is hilarious. Alright, we're going back to Chris talking about Merlin. This is on February 1st. Chris says, well, everyone, I've just had another really successful deep meditate session. I have a real doozy of additional details to what I had learned yesterday. At Praetor, be sure to know this for yourself as well. Back at that moment in medieval times, where there was a set of wizards who cast the ritual and spells, there were 3 very highly powerful wizards in execution of the event, one of which, the neutral wizard, was none other than Merlin himself. Of the other 2, one who heavily used dark magic, and the other heavily used light magic. They were the ancestors of Wes Isley and Sarah Hammer. And Chris, herself, was in attendance to witness and guide the trio on behalf of the other deities at the time. Obviously, the magic of dark and light from the 2 wizards were passed down to Wes and Sarah respectively. As for Merlin, he actually had made a deal with Chris, since his age was getting to him, to guard over his soul and majority of his magic power. So, at Merlin's death, guess where his soul went? Into the past version of this very body. Someone's just like, can we steal the magic from them somehow to put it to better use? And Chris says, no! Today, I learned all of this from the cosmos as well, and they will make sure when the time comes that Wes and Sarah of this universe become better awakened of their magic abilities, and work with us when the time comes around the merge's completion. The hilarious bit is that Wes Isley is actually a magician. The cosmos took the form of a hedgehog. Whew. Okay. Sorry, I just pictured a bunch of stars, like in a constellation of a hedgehog, like a realistic hedgehog, not a Sonic hedgehog. Whew, okay. The cosmos took the form of a hedgehog, which could be considered, offhand by the neurotypical, mistakenly, as a Sonic OC. The cosmos can take on any form to be visible when speaking with others. This is his form when speaking with anthropomorphic individuals. I will be drawing it out later upon their request. Alright, now this is the conversation about the taser incident. The Praetor's messages are going to be purple, and not-so-bots are going to be white. Is this white? Because this is pink to me, boy. And I'm guessing yellow is still Chris. Okay, so this is purple, and this is white, which is not... No. So this color is the Praetor. This color is the Praetors. The Praetors say, howdy everyone, we're aware there is marginal concern regarding Chris's attempts to unlock a portal using a taser. And Bot says, how's that for an understatement, huh? The Praetors continue, We understand your concerns and act with safety in mind. We must remind you that this is an idea born entirely through Chris, and not with our encouragement. This will be a test, and will not involve Chris coming into permanent possession of one of our lovely zappers. And Bot says, does this routine actually fool anyone? I don't think your marketing team is all that good or ethical. Oh, charming coincidence. And then Chris comes in and says, actually, Kyle, it is very much true. The idea was all my doing, alone and through great meditation and seeing into the future. And Bot says, and the logical process? And Chris says, the idea was not presented unto me by Caden, nor anyone else, period. Caden is the leader of the Praetors. Submarine. If you remember my last video, Chris believes that Chris said that something in submarines are used by running electricity through a quartz crystal or something. And so Chris believes that the same process will work with his crystal and his magical powers. So that's what he means by submarine. The Praetors say, we is innocent, laughing, crying emoji. Tangentially related to one component of some part of it. And Chris says, constant electricity through a quartz on a submarine causes the sonar, and that is with an unfocused, unenergized quartz. And the Bot points out, it's electrical grade quartz. And Chris says, with the focused energies that have been collecting between the gate crystal and the celestial key, adding the spark into them will resonate very well into the portal area. And Bot points out that quartz used in frequencies for electronics is likely of a purity beyond 99.9. Chris continues, plus it has been foreseen in the prophecy. To activate the spark within the goddess, she needs to create the spark that Merlin and his teammates made that separated the universe, which will reverse the separation. The Praetors continue, as always, we're just here to sell product. Chris's well-being has never been and will never be in jeopardy. If there is any concerns with trolling, please let us know so we can discuss it. Just skimming this, the Watchman said, quick question, were you planning on filming it? And the Praetor says, no. However, if you'd like us to, we could take some photos or videos. And yet you personally provided these items? The tasers? At Chris's request, they will be provided. And you'll pay any medical bills that come from this? There will be none. The taser provided is not for sale, and is at a low wattage one not worth selling. Prolonged contact is uncomfortable, but not damaging. The ones that will be sold are not handled by Chris, but are far stronger. The Praetors are planning on selling Chris-branded tasers? Is that what I'm getting from this? Wow, okay. So Chris jumps back in and says, this event will not be deterred at all, and Chris's body will more than definitely be safe and well. And I as well, Sonichu Prime. Do I need to remind you that this body is half Sonichu, so it is electric resistant? Plus again, it all has been foreseen, and all circumstances and possibilities for this timeline have been checked and rechecked. There will be no harm or bad hitch. And then the Bot tries to point out, you're not exactly an electrical engineer, so some exploration of probable outcomes is advisable. And Chris gets angry and says, what did I just say? Between I, Chris, Magichan, and Mewtwo, we have looked into all probable outcomes. The prep work is already done for this. And that's basically all that happened. Kyle was not able to help the situation and convince Chris not to do it, and so theoretically it's still going to happen. The Watchmen might convince the Praetors to video record it, probably just so that there's evidence. The issue with that is that if Chris does get hurt, it's almost certain that the Praetors will not release the video, because then they'd be liable, and it's basically just evidence. And if Chris doesn't get hurt, or at least not seriously hurt, and the Watchmen do obtain the video, then I doubt that they would leak it to the public, because then people would just use it to make fun of Chris. So either way, I do not think that we are going to get to see this video. But yeah, as of right now, this taser incident is still happening, and it seems that the Praetors are only doing it because they want to sell Chris Chan branded tasers, and so they need this incident for publicity. That's great. Wonderful human beings. Thank you for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at GiBi_Devin for more updates. This has been horrible. Happy Christian Love Day, I guess. Even though he's going to zap himself to the extreme, and there's nothing we can do about it. Great.